I wanted to give everyone an update on the rock chip I got in my windshield. If you saw my video from earlier this week, you'll know that someone cut me off, kind of kicked up a rock, got a chip in the windshield, so I had to figure out how to get that fixed. I'm usually really cautious about how close I follow exactly for this reason. I did get the front of my car wrapped with PPF, so that helps any of the paint, but there's not much you can do on the windshield. Anyway, this happened. It is what it is, but had to get it fixed. So I am still insured by Allstate. I did consider switching to Tesla insurance. I still think I'm probably going to do it because it's significantly cheaper. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. First thing I did was log on to the Allstate website. They have a specific section just for their glass service, which seems to be powered by Safelite. They direct you right there. A couple of things I learned from that process. You do have the option to select a repair or replacement, and I will cover the pros and cons of that in a second. And I did come to find out that Safelite cannot actually do a replacement on a Tesla, so you have to do that directly through Tesla. So not totally sure how that would work with insurance. I'm guessing there's just a bit more of a couple of steps where you have to call first rather than doing everything online. So I was able to get an appointment at Safelite the following day, less than 24 hours later, and they say if you're going to go with the repair option, you want to do that as quickly as possible so that the crack doesn't spread. They were nice enough to let me film inside, so I have a couple of images. I didn't do any audio in there, so I'm just going to do a quick voiceover, but the process was quick and painless. It only took about 15 minutes. Pulled right into Safelite, parked the car. While they were working on another car's replacement windshield, they stopped, came right over, got me checked in, and had gotten started on the process within 5 minutes or so. The first thing they did was obviously clean the windshield, but then they basically drilled out where the core of the chip was. I think this was just to get out any shards of glass or places where, the epoxy might not flow all that well. The next process was to hook up their epoxy pump, basically. So it's a pressurized unit that puts suction on the windshield over the crack to get all the air out of the way and then pumps in epoxy in. While this isn't meant to fill the actual chip, it's meant to use the pressure to push some of the epoxy into the crack to make the cracks themselves less visible and stronger. Next, they came over with just a handheld tube of epoxy, filled the chip itself, put on a UV light for about 5 minutes to harden all the epoxy, both the chip and the cracks. Once it was hardened, they came over with a razor blade and scraped off all the extra, cleaned the windshield, and that was it. As I said, I was in and out of there within 15 minutes. And here's a before and after so you can see what it looks like. They were both taken in my garage under the exact same lighting, so you can really see just how well the chip and crack were filled. Now, as I said, it's not perfect. You still can see it, but it is rather unnoticeable unless you're really looking for it. So just real quick, what do I think the pros and cons of getting a repair done versus a replacement? First is speed. It was super quick. I was able to book the next day, get it done within 15 minutes. And the second, it was super cheap. Well, actually it was free to me, but I did get an invoice from Safelite that said it was basically $65 billed to the insurance. I don't know if that's a discounted rate. It probably is, but let's assume if I had paid for it, it would have been about $100. The cons are, hey, it's not perfect. It still does leave a mark that you can see. And if you're like me, once you've seen it, you can't unsee it, so you know it's there and your eyes will be automatically drawn to it. It's livable, it's just annoying. The second con is that it cannot be as strong as just an original windshield. Obviously, there are cracks there. There is still a chip there, even though it's filled with epoxy. So who knows if it gets hit with another rock, if that will be more likely to leave another chip or crack or even spider the whole windshield. From what I can tell on the internet, a replacement windshield plus the labor to install it is plus or minus $1,000. Let's just assume that that is the same rate that insurance would pay, though it might be slightly lower. And with my comprehensive insurance, my deductible is only $100. So basically out of pocket for the insurance company, it's either $900 or $65. Obviously, they're going to steer you to the repair. Thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and we will catch you next time. Thanks again. Have a good one.